Hey everyone and welcome back to a new video here on the new Byte. My name is Hasses and as always is with me Daniel. Hey Daniel.
Hello there.
So Daniel, what are we taking a look at today?
Right, so we are looking at Sould Calibur VI.
Oh damn, that's good. Because I actually liked the series and went on and collected the games before I even went to Gamescom and knew that I could play it.
Nice.
I wasn't sure yet, but I saw like, oh, there's a new Soul Calibur game coming up. I have to pick up the series now. So what's the coolest thing about Soul Calibur VI now?
Right, so I think at the moment, what we can see right now is Geralt of Rivia, and we're also fighting in Kaer Morhen.
Yeah, The Witcher.
The Witcher training grounds for the School of the Wolf. How awesome.
What you can't hear said in the background is also the music, because we have the actual title soundtrack, Hunt or Be Hunted. And that's for a reason at the Bandai Namco booth we were given PlayStation 4s and game stations to play with, and we were also allowed to capture gameplay, as you can see. But I didn't check that the audio was recording, so we ended up having 90 minutes of hands-on, recording lots of gameplay, but it didn't record the audio for this now. Just trust me, the game sounds awesome. This song in the background is amazing, it's really pushing forward. And of course, The Witcher has his original voice actor also here for this game. Right, so as you can see right now, we're striking a lot around. And for the people that don't know how Soul Calibur works, it's basically a fighting game where you have two different kinds of strikes. One is vertical and one is horizontal. You have a kick and you also have a block. Because it's a sword fighting game, you have more, of course, focus on the actual things that you do with your hands and arms. And that's why blocking is an additional thing instead of just two different kinds of kicks. Of course, you also have like different abilities. For example, of course, the Witcher can use his magic, as you can see right now on screen, to use against enemies. But other than that, there are also like different strikes that he has, very powerful, and they also feel powerful. I really quite have to say that it's amazing how they transform.
There we go. Axie to throw. Love it.
How they transform Geralt into Soul Calibur VI.
Yes, so it's so cool. I'm really loving how he's able to use the signs and everything, like R to push them back and everything. That's so cool.
Yeah, so right now we're playing against Sophitia, who's one of the original cast members from Soul Calibur 2 even. And compared to this, which I actually played, I have not yet managed to play more of the series so far. It's very similar. It's just updated, better graphics, and even more intense actually. And as you have maybe noticed, like the characters actually start to lose like their clothes if they lose, which is, I think this is personally a little weird because the characters are already like very sexualized in some ways. We're going to see that later when we have the character Ivy on screen, which is also there in the series since Soul Calibur 2. But yeah, it might be a little weird to some people, and if you're not a fan of that, I can see why that is.
Sure, I'll play a little devil's advocate and say that I think it's good because then it shows how like the character is damaged and they're like taking damage properly, and it's not just they look fine and everything is okay with them. They are slowly like the signs of battle are showing. But in my own personal opinion, I do agree with you. I think they could have done it in a slightly better way, or had something else, maybe show some like scratches or something.
Yeah, it's just taste, I guess.
I
would still play the game definitely because I like the gameplay for it. Just that one thing I gotta say. Okay, so right now we see Ivy and Siegfried, which are also part of the original cast members from Soul Calibur 2, and also their fightings have been enhanced a little bit, but with the same basis as they always had since the early 2000s when the game series started actually. And there are also like different fighting styles, of course, coming around. And since we're talking about fighting styles, this is a good point also to talk something that's not on screen right now. So for the gameplay demo, we actually were given only the versus mode. This is right now me playing against the CPU. This is why I'm wrecking just the AI. But later on, we'll also have gameplay footage where actually Dan was fighting against me, whereas Sophitia and also as Geralt, where we switch it up also and have the other way of the characters. Talking about archetypes and everything, what we were also shown at the Bandai Namco booth in the like 1 hour long presentation about different games is that for Soul Calibur 6 again we also have a big story happening in your background, which is more like an RPG game. You have to like earn money, for example, and use that money to travel around to places. You have to fight enemies, and you can even like hire mercenaries that will help you in a way if you're not on the right level.
Yeah. The great thing about that mode is it allows you to. Oh, look at this!
There it goes.
Oh, brutal! And the great thing about that, about the kind of the story mode, or one of the story modes that they have, is that you can create your own character for this. And with this, once you've created your character, if any friends have characters, you can use them as mercenaries. So you can hire them, and they can come. You can use them to fight against higher level NPCs that you come across within the world.
Yes.
The other story mode that they have in Soul Calibur 6 is, I believe it's, I can't remember exactly what they called it, but it was kind of glimpses of each different character and what they were doing at various points during, I believe, Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah, there's like a timeline happening where different interactions happened at the same time, but from different perspectives also.
Yeah, so the good thing about that was you could... every single character in the roster has their own mini story, and you get to play through each parts of those, and you can uncover hidden secrets within the Soul Calibur universe that you didn't know happened, and this kind of sheds some light on that.
Yeah, because the main story overall, of course, is everyone wants to have the Soul Blade, the one that's just basically confirmed to be a demon, basically, and there's also a character based around that that's also a fighter, and it's ever since, even like in Soul Calibur 2, which is the only game that I know from the earliest point on, you just try to find it and try to save the world, basically, because you're one of the good guys and you just want to bring the sword away from the world. And of course, also like characters who just want to use it for their own gains. So right here, for example, we have Sophitia, who's one of the sort of gods of the world, who's able to wield the soul blade, as far as you can remember, but is also trying to take care of it. So it's being locked away and properly stored, for example, away from other beings that like to use their power for bad things. On the other side, we also have Yoshimitsu again, one of the characters that was in the game already very early on, because in Soul Calibur 2, no, I accidentally stopped the game, we had Heihachi and Yoshimitsu from the Tekken series, and here actually is a very interesting thing. Yoshimitsu has a voice actor. Usually he's just like a samurai and just not talking at all in the Tekken series. Here in Soul Calibur, he's now actually part of the standard roster, I'd say. And he's seen here with his usual moves, actually. The swings, like standing on the sword, but also swinging it around like a helicopter. And it's actually really nicely done how it works inside of the whole Soul Calibur theme, I think.
Right.
After all, it's a sword fighting game.
Yeah.
So yeah, characters had to be transported, of course, and... yeah, this is a perfect win right now against the AI, which I say, hey, this is good, but, well, it was not that difficult. And I'd love to see how the story also plays out, because to me it was interesting to see in the earlier game on that the game is not just like chaining up fights against fights, like in card mode. We'll probably have that also, but there's also like a whole RPG world happening around, traveling around the map, you're finding different dungeons that you can explore, and you're even getting loot that will help you to improve your characters. At least in Soul Calibur 2 it was like that. Then you have like, you pick your fighter, and then it just goes on, but you can also exchange it at any point in time.
Right. So
when you are going to travel the world and buy weapons for that, they can be bought for any character and can be also exchanged. Right. So now we're actually seeing Yoshimitsu in action, not being just beaten down. For those who like the Tekken series, especially, like, I'm going to pull some moves that you're actually going to see from the Tekken series being translated one-to-one into Soul Calibur here. Especially, for example, the bow action here, or just a long strike. I love this one. I was hoping that there's one move that I really hate in Tekken, we just move very fast towards the enemy and just one strike, and you just basically slide through them, but you have no chance. Your enemy, your own character goes down if you've been hit by that. Oh, there we go. There is the strike and turn around. Basically, just like a helicopter thing.
Interesting.
I love that move. It's really fun. But yeah, Dan, how did you enjoy it so far, as you've tried it yourself?
Yeah, I tried it a little bit, and I'm one of these players who I don't really know. When I play games like this, I always consider them button mashers, because you really gotta like just smash your hand against the controller or your face against the keyboard, and stuff will happen, and either you win or you lose. But people who who play this on a more like regular basis or like professionally, they'll know that like it requires a lot more skill than that. You got to like time specific moves with other ones to chain them and things. So yeah, I think with enough time and practice, I'd probably be able to get this down.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely playing this, I was kind of out of my element a little bit. I'd played things like
just smashing around.
Yeah, just smashing around, but nothing serious. I think this is where we started. I picked Geralt, and you picked Sophitia.
Right. Yeah, the game mechanics are like a little different from what we usually know, because in Tekken, what I personally like is the very intuitive way how you play. X is the left leg, circle is the right leg, square is the left hand, and triangle is the right hand, if I remember correctly. So it's just, okay, I want to punch with the left hand, and I go with the one button. I want to punch on the other side, just go back and forth, and I do like a square, triangle movement. Here, this just does not work the same way. You have lots of things that you do with the directions. So, like, for example, spinning around, going back with a strike and forth with a strike are two different things, and they're even... as you can see, like, yeah, of course, the senior that you can use with Geralt. So you were really annoying with that point.
I love the signs. It's one of the parts of the Witcher series that I really enjoy, because it's allows you to like it's more of his like ranged attack, which is quite good because it puts a bit of distance between you and your opponent. And I really liked how I was able to kind of chain it together and keep it going. But yeah, you managed to dodge out the way at the last second.
Yes, and you can see right now I'm actually moving around a lot on this map, and to me at least, Soul Calibur was a game where a lot of movement is actually a high advantage. So either try to escape or actually try to block with X on the PlayStation with the movement. And you're still getting a lot of hits in here, and it's like really awesome to see how even the interactions are having a back and forth moment.
Yeah.
There was some movements happening later on, I think, also where I had like legit back and forth gameplay where we're blocking each other in the exact moment. This right now is actually now the third match where the map also changes the time of the day, which I personally liked.
So here I used one. I think it's the like special ability that allowed. It's basically one of the Witcher potions, which increases his abilities,
and even his swords go on flames. It's like really
which is really cool. But obviously, I was I was completely outclassed. Was not able to use those abilities enough to get it done properly. But yeah.
I also like that because Sophitia was one of the characters that I played all the time in Soul Calibur 2, and it actually translates very well into the new game.
Excellent.
So now we switch places, and now I was Geralt, and Daniel was Sophitia, and we're going to see how actually you can play it very differently. Although the outcome may surprise you of this match. I won't say how, but it's interesting how actually...
Number 2 may surprise you.
It's actually interesting how it changed up a little later on, because although your button mashing is not...
it was
proficient way.
Yeah, it was. My button mashing. I was just trying to figure out like how to do certain things with the character, how to chain things together. But of course, I don't really play these types of games, so I think it was the one that I first kind of really got into this type of game was like Mortal Kombat, the most recent one, and I played that a little bit, and I played enough so that I could compete against the AI in those like tower tournaments. But yeah, it's something that you lose super quickly if you don't use it, and I definitely had lost it. So
yeah, that was a good block from me also. You could really see how the screen was shaken up, and there we go. Now Sophitia actually lost part of her arm, as you can see right now. I think her shoulders are getting detached.
Yeah,
it's like weird, but what it is.
Yeah, her shoulders have gone.
Her shoulders are clean now.
Yeah.
Oh well. I guess it's like an icon.
I hadn't seen actually anything from Geralt's side of things about like losing anything. So maybe it is just that, or maybe I if like somebody slows it down and you realize like like his shoulder armor goes or something.
There's one lever plate that's going off, but the rest is still intact. Like okay. I mean, he's the Witcher after all, right? And this is where I start losing now. This is the first one that I lost. I was just swinging around trying to do my thing. But yeah, also, again, wanted to point out, like, I love how the map looks differently in 2 different times of days.
Yeah.
And so this is where your block goes in. Like,
I just thought I'd try and actually use the ability because I think I had 2 of them stacked up, and I was like, oh, I'll just use one of them now.
Yeah. Good move. Definitely have taken a lot of damage now.
Yeah, and I managed to get you all kind of locked up into like a few combos, which was quite good. But again, this was all kind of like I just managed to time everything right.
Yeah,
and
you really blocked me down there. I had almost no chance to block properly. So this is now the final moment. Who's gonna win? I think it's quite good how it came out at the end, because I had a good moment where I blocked just you and took you down there with another sign this time.
Yeah.
But and
again, I just used I used the ability and you instantly blocked it.
There we go, and then it took me down. Right, so that's it. That was a quick impression of Sould Calibur VI. I hope you liked it, and of course, if you want to show that, you can also do that by putting a thumbs up on the video. My name is Hustis for the New Byte.
And I'm Dan.
And thank you so much, and see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.